And he was like, yeah, I know, but I know Liar will do it. And I was like, why will he? And then he said, he said. I said, when? And then you said, can't remember. And then out of nowhere, out of all that, out of nowhere, I then go, Max, at the end of the day, you need to grow up. You can't race in leagues and leave when you get accused of something. And then he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, Dot, you need to get a grip. Oh, no. Oh, I love it. I fucking love it.
Nah, mate, the things that I've done when I was 16. In Cliffy's League, yeah, I won a race, but there was a bit of controversy behind it. How the fuck did you guess that? Yeah. So that happened. And I got really salty and I called Cliffy a fucking dick.
And a pussy. He called me a pussy. I can get that.
Because he took my win away.
Oh no. Max, I think you and Hellboy had an incident. Because, oh, where is it? Oh, here it is. Wait, so I said something. I said you were talking about the incident and that, and you was like, oh, I don't know. You thought you were gonna get kicked and all that, and I said no. And then I said, you're a good racer. You've shown that, but the first one was a stupid move, and the second one looked like more of a racing incident. And then you said the second one was his, and then I said, you honestly think the second one was Hellboy's fault? And then you said yes, and then I thought you're on something then, to be honest. Oh.
Shut up.
Oh no.
Where have you seen this?
It's on Twitter. I liked it.
Ankle. Wait, hold up. It doesn't really work with F1 drivers, does it? You normally...
Oh, this is what I'm used to. Wait, hold on, Max, hold on. This is what I love to see. Wait, I'll put it in, wait. I'm gonna make a new chat, because I don't really want it cluttering up.
No, Cliffy, go and do it.
No, Max, I'll just do it with you and Warmer. Warmer.
Right, hello. It is now 8 o'clock, and welcome
This is
here
what I
to
this is what I
stream
like
number
to
3,
see, Max.
for
Like, if
round
I was on
3
your
of
screen, this is the perfect
HTA
image.
Season 1
I'm quite
Championship.
scared
It
to
is being
open
hosted
this.
today here at Bahrain International Circuit. And let's hope it goes better than last week. Had a bit of a...
Why am I so far behind?
What's the word?
Look at it. Breathe it in.
I can't say it.
Shade. Why am I not? Oh, I think I won this race.
Catastrophe.
No,
Catastrophe? Catastrophe. That's it.
That actually
Got there in the
brings
end.
back
Had a bit of a
so many
catastrophe
memories.
last week. which saw only, I believe, 6 drivers finishing the race. With
You can barely finish the race.
Coming into the league in season 1 because obviously
I won like the most races
in
in PSA one
matches
season.
and obviously weren't capable and weren't suited to the racing conditions.
Max, you just had a mare, Max. That's all it is.
No, Tom. When I was in DMZ, it was like...
And the grid's going to be a lot better
That's
this week
what?
as well. I think we have 16 drivers on the grid. This is the pinnacle
F6 is on.
HTA racing.
I think he's commentating.
The Apex.
You know PSLF 1, Lord?
Tier 1.
Was he no, he's racing.
Oh, what?
Fuck it.
Do you think PSLF 1's good?
Being held on
No.
that either. But
No,
to watch
anyway,
it, yeah.
continue.
To watch it, but to race it, no.
15 drivers at the moment. It does say 16
Yeah,
I'm fine with
them
them too.
I'm making PSL, yeah.
I won't be
but
driving.
like,
I'm just
all
commentating
the,
for this
like,
evening,
the top
as usual.
8 were really quick.
I think there is a few technical difficulties
That's what
on some
PMG was
drivers'
back then.
ends. So we will.
We had
just
me,
be here at the
Cliff
moment,
B,
just trying to
B
resolve
Stash,
everything, sort everything out,
Skeevan,
make sure everything's
Cool, those were the days. And Flair.
Flair, John Evans
Oh.
Derry.
No, just to see
No,
if it's
no,
all-
no.
Everything's
I'm like,
okay
who's
up
quicker
and
then?
running. But I think everybody is prepared.
Yeah, but so was Max. If we're talking about that. So since
I
2016,
was.
Max has been nowhere.
Nah, 2017 I was good. Mate, I won my first PSL race and that.
Yeah, and then from then onwards, where have you been?
There's enough medium traction control.
I remember that, you know. I actually remember that.
Right, everything should be clear now. Yeah, sorry about earlier. Just trying to sort everything out with the stream. Forgot I was logged into my second account, and my second account was in a party, and you'll hear some unfamiliar voices during the start of the stream. So sorry for that technical difficulty. We are underway here in Bahrain. Obviously, I will go through everything just again, just if anybody didn't hear my voice, because I was in a separate party, which is quite amusing actually, just watching it back. But hello everybody watching, welcome to round 3 here at Bahrain International Circuit for the inaugural HTA Championship. We are, as I've said before, here at Bahrain under the lights, not for the first time actually, because we did do Bahrain last weekend and it was under the lights as a driver preference, it has to be said. There wasn't that many people attended that race, which is very unfortunate. It did end in catastrophe, with a few drivers not being able to race cleanly or fairly, and the race was postponed and the stream was postponed due to it. So it did end up the race did end up finishing, but there isn't an end clip to the stream because it was unfortunately didn't go very well. But anyway, it's a new week, it's a new day, and we are here now for round 3. Just seeing some of the drivers going out. There's nobody wasting any time. Jay Fletcher already out on the soft compound tyres. We know what Jay can do. He had a brilliant performance in Monaco for the first stint, and I believe got caught up with a few incidents, and it cost him a very valuable position. So Jay Fletcher looking to bounce back here in round 3 of Bahrain. Let me just get all the telemetry and lovely stuff like that up. to see what tyres people have got fitted as well. As we watch Jay Fletcher, I think he will be the first man out and around the track. So let's go on board with him. Going down to turn 1, a very heavy braking zone. It's a long, straight, undulating down into second gear, even first with some drivers. As you go through turn 2 and 3, very fast left, right. You've got to be careful on traction though as you open the DRS on the back straight. Now into turn 4, another heavy braking zone. Be careful on traction as well. On the exit, you can spin the rears. Just finishing off the first sector now, going through right and then left. Very fast right, left chicane, going down. Another downhill braking zone as well. So you've got to just be careful with blocking the front brakes. You know, a lot of loading going into the front right tyre, especially going through this long, twisted left-hander. You know, ABS users will be thankful. If you're not using ABS, then you're going to have a few problems down there. But anyway, on the third DRS straight, coming out, braking to the 50-metre board, taking a lot of curb on the right-hand side of the track just to open up the corner for himself, Jay Fletcher. And here he comes down for the fast right-hander into a very sharp right-hander. It's longer than people expect. You know, a lot of people do choose to cut just the inside curb just so they can get the undulation out of the corner and increase their speed down into the final turn. And this is a very tricky corner, a very dodgy curve on the outside. You think it's, oh, and as I said that, he's just unloaded the rear tyres a bit too early, got on the throttle, Jay Fletcher. It will be a fairly decent lap time, I think, when he crosses the line. But no, it might actually be invalid because it didn't actually come up on the timing screen. So we will move on. I do believe Lewis is next out on track. He is on the medium tyres in that Williams, as we see an absolute horrendous camera angle, which is appalling, to be honest with you. But he does go P2 with a 149.2, definitely not representative, as the Ginger goes pole position on the mediums with a 128.6. Just scanning through the grid now, just seeing where people are on track. Got a couple of people crossing the line. Obviously a lot of people opting for the medium and the hard tyres early on in this qualifying section. We're going to go on with Foxy Dude, who's the yellow flags in sector 1. Currently P7, obviously hasn't set a lap yet, and I do believe this is his lap. Coming through the final corner, he seems to have nailed it. Oh, tiny bit of rear spinning going on through the final corner, but he's got his DRS open, and he goes pole position with a 128.3 on the mediums. So not too shabby there. Dartbolt still in the pit lane. People on out laps here, left, right, and centre. We've got Legend in the pie, and we've got Jay Ghosts as well on a lap at the moment. So we'll go on board with this man here, good old Legend. Obviously, Nexus Legend has been in many other leagues. I think he's in F6. Is he on F6? No, I'm thinking about somebody else. Completely ignore me. But anyway, as we see Jay Fletcher go pole position with a 128.0, but it is in the soft tyre, so not very representative from himself. As we see Nexus is going to come across the line, and it's 6th position with the medium tyres. We're going to go down to Jay Ghosts. Now, coming through the final corner on the hard compounds, the yellow striped tyre. It was the DRS flap very, very early, very good reaction time, and either an invalid lap or he's going for another one. He does have a lot of ERS. But we will move on just to see if anybody else is in the final sector. We have Spark going through on the lap time. We'll have a look at Spark. It does say he's on the softs, but he's got a pair of mediums on, so whatever the game wants, I guess. As we see a lot of front locking on the left hand side as he struggles for traction going down this DRS straight. I'm not sure if Sparks is on a lap. It looks very, very... He might be, you know. He is in hot lap trying to use the ERS, so we'll stay on board with Sparks for the moment. He's at a 106.8 in the middle. The first two sectors, he's just obviously the last sector, the shortest of all the sectors, just 2 straights and 2 corners. But here he goes now, heavy braking zone, taking a lot of curb on the exit. As you see, 3 viewers at the moment getting tuned in. Obviously there's been an incident in the final corner. I think that's a Red Bull that's gone off at Sparks. It's a 128.7 and puts him P5. So a lot of laps being produced. Legend, is he going to go for another lap? Or is he going to cross the line now on this lap? It's a 128.8 and Legend goes P6 on that lap. I'm going to see Geordie on the medium tyres. He has done a lap, so I will go off board with him. I'm going to go on board with Praga. currently at 131.2, currently in 8th place, which isn't representative at all some of these times. Obviously Lewis just set another lap and is in P10 in the other Williams. Obviously miles off the pace, keeps going around, probably getting used to the Bahrain international circuit. I think he's going to come into the pits. Paraga's going to come into the pits. Taz is up into P8. Geordie's just put in a good lap time for P7. And oh, somebody's off in the wall. It's Darkbolt. So Darkbolt, a very unusual place to lose it. It's actually just after the first sector. That's the hairpin, the sharp right hairpin. He's had quite a collision with the wall, and he's gone head first. Obviously nose first, I should say, into the wall, and Darkbolt ruining his chances of a decent lap so far, which is very, very unfortunate. Obviously Jay Ghosts, he is in hot lap mode and he is deploying the DRS. He is currently 14th position without a valid lap time in the McLaren. We were on board with him earlier, thought he was going to set a lap then, but no, he is running low on fuel, but he is using all the DRS and ERS at his disposal. Darkbolt just getting out of the way there. Obviously seen Jay Ghost is on a fast lap. As you see the glistening heat coming from the rear brakes through the alloys of the wheel, which is actually a very nice sight to see, especially under the lights of Bahrain. But here he comes, Jay Ghosts. Is it going to be the lap time he's looking for, or is he going to peel into the pit lane? Jay Ghost is going to set his lap. It's going to be a 1:29.2 on the hard tyres, which puts him 7th position for the moment. Not too bad. Probably a few tenths in there. Will be a bit disappointed, but not too bad at all. I'm just going to go through now. We've got LR Taz in the first sector. We'll just see if anybody's further down the lap. As we see Terra, he's 3 tenths down currently, and I don't think he's pushing because he's in no ERS, so we will go off board with him. Darkbolt's obviously coming into the pit lane. Ulu, as I got corrected the other week, he does like to be, he is preferred, his preference is to be called Ulu, and he's currently sitting P15. Obviously hasn't set a lap at the moment. I think he's getting ready to start one. Just going through, we've got Forbes in P3. He had a miserable time out in both Silverstone and at Monaco. So Forbes looking very strong here. He did set his lap on the mediums as well, so it's not too bad of a lap. Obviously Jay Fletcher is on the soft tyres and is pole position only by 3 tenths, which I think he can do a lot better. We do see yellow flags in sector 1 and 2, so people moving out the way. As we see Sparks go P2 with a 28.1 on the hards. So Sparks really setting the marker down for some of these drivers around Bahrain. I do believe Sparks did actually win Bahrain last time out, only unless he did crash. He was leading it for some way. Obviously, like I said before, the stream was cut short because obviously the disappointing numbers and just the lack of action really was nothing to watch. But no, Sparks really setting the benchmark on them hard tyres, doing a terrific job in that Mercedes. Just running through the grid, Foxy Dude did set a lap on the mediums, is currently P3, but he's now on the softs, so he definitely wants to get a very, very fast lap in. Just scanning through the grid, see if anybody's in the last sector. Nobody notably. As we see Forbes go pole position on the soft tyres, 3 tenths quicker than Jay Fletcher. So Jay Fletcher's got to pull something out because Forbes is setting pretty competitive lap time on them softs. Has Darkbot come back out? Darkbot has come back out, and he's on the mediums after his earlier spin at the hairpin. Darkbot obviously not happy with the setup of the car, and he's come back out maybe with a few tweaks done to the setup just to suit him a bit better. Darkbot, one of the contender for one of the championship leaders or championship winners, I should say. His pace has been pretty fantastic during this race. I do believe he did get P2 at Silverstone. He was pipped to the line by Yari, who's unfortunately not racing with us. One of the fastest drivers I've seen in this league, and one of the cleanest drivers I've seen in this league tonight. But yeah, he will be unfortunately missing out. Just have a sip of water while some of these drivers are starting laps. Ulu currently not on a lap, just forming behind Lewis, who's currently in P13. The slowest of anybody out there who has set a lap. Jay Fletcher is coming through the final corner now. He is up on his time, but is he going to set it? Because it will be 2 laps on these sets of tyres. Here comes Jay Fletcher. He is going to set the lap time, and it's going to be a 1:27.8, and doesn't beat Forbes, but does improve his lap time on the softs, which is crucial. Ginger is on an out lap. Geordie is going round now. Terra's also in the first sector. Dartbolt's on an out lap. So just scanning through, I think Forbes is pitting. Yes, he is. So let's go on board with this man, with Ginger. It's at a 1:28.5 on the hards. He's on the mediums at the moment, and he's just about to start his lap. Here he goes. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna stay on board with him. The number 22 in the Scarlet Ferrari. Once we just change fitted. There we go. Makes it a bit better. His Dartbolt does go P2. Does go P2 on the medium compounds with a 27.8. That's fantastic on the mediums. As we see yellow flags in sector 3 and sector 1. So slow drivers going round. Gonna stay on board with the Ginger. He is only in high ERS mixture, so whether he's just getting a feel for the track on these mediums, I'm not too sure, as we see more yellow flags in sector 1. We're just going to stay on board with him for the moment, just to see where he does put it in over in hot lap, so maybe his ERS is depleting more than he expects. He is currently sitting P8 as Ulu goes P7 in the Red Bull Racing. It's coming now, very aggressive downshifts, the Ferrari engine squealing for oxygen as he goes through the fast right-hander. Coming up, it's longer than you expect, especially the penultimate corner right here. He's just gone a bit wide. I think personally I'd cut a bit more of that curb, but here we go. The Ginger is coming down now the back straight. He's going to get a bit of a slipstream off one of the McLarens as well, so the Ginger actually having a bit of help as he's going to come across the line on the medium compound tyres. DRS wide open. It's going to be P1 for the Ginger on the medium tyres as well, with a 1:27.7. So fantastic from the Ginger. Just seeing everybody else. Dartbolt's been out already. Terra's on another lap. Coming through the final sector, Foxy Dude not too far off pole, but here he is on the soft compound tyres now. He's looking to impress in the racing point. He's currently P8 on the mediums. I think his time was set. So here he comes now through the final corner. He's got it in overtake mode. No, he hasn't. He's got it in hot lap mode. He's opened the DRS perfect, and he bails. He bails on the lap. So mind games at racing point. I do believe trying to get this all sorted. I think Terra was the next one out on the lap, but he's also bailed on his lap. Spark is out on the medium compounds as Ulu retires. I don't know if he's retired in pit lane, but he's currently P4 with a 27.8 on the mediums, which is a very, very good lap time from Ulu. Obviously, Jay Fletcher, I think, is the man that's really bottled this session at the moment on the soft tyres, and he's not even in the top 3. As Dartbolt, is he going to go out on the softs? It does say he is at the moment, but it might just be a garage glitch. Yes, it's sector 2 and 3 yellow flags. I think it's just drivers moving out of the way. Sparks is on an out lap. Jay Fletcher's on an out lap. Who's furthest to, as Foxy Dude does retire from the session. Jay goes on a lap at the moment. We're going on board with this man, LR Praga, and I think he's lifted off. Yeah, he has, so he's just about to start a lap. Just seeing where everybody is. He's 5 seconds off. I think it was Sparks. Yeah, Sparks at the moment. And Joe Fletcher just about to start a lap as well. Dartbolt, they're all on laps. Forbes has just gone off and nearly impeded Geordie, I think, who was on the lap. Lewis has bailed out of his lap. And Pro is just about to start his as well. So a lot of people out there on the medium tyres. The tyre of choice is the mediums. Just having a look through now. I think I'm going to go on board with Praga. No, I'm not. Forbes is on an out lap. People are opting for the softs though, some of the front runners. Yeah, I think Sparks the first man round as we see a Ferrari park it of terror. Just on the exit of turn 9. Sparks is giving it absolutely everything. He's put it in overtake. He's feeling confident. He wants more juice out of the car. It's into hot lap now. We see yellow flag in sector 3. But here comes Spark. He set the early pace on the hard compounds, but now he's on the medium. He's on a faster compound, and he looks to be going even quicker through the middle sector. He's 5/10 up on his lap. Here comes Spark. We're going to stay on board with him through the penultimate corner and through the last corner to the line. Spark's getting every single bit of juice out of his machine as he takes a wide exit and entry into the final corner. A snap of oversteer as he tries to correct it as he comes to the line. It's going to be a 1:27.5. Spark goes P1 with an absolutely fantastic lap. Praga's gone P7 as well on the mediums, which is a great showing from him. Scrolling through the grid now just to see where everybody is. Forbes is on a lap, but Nexus is in the way. So if Nexus is on a lap, he's definitely going to impede Forbes. Forbes, obviously, with the soft tyres. Nexus bails out of the way, clearly hampering the lap. Praga says he messed up his lap in sectors 2 and 3. Just going to go on board. Jay Fletcher goes P6, doesn't improve on his lap time. We're going to stay on board with Forbes though, because he is up on his lap time on the soft compound. He's currently sitting P3 in the McLaren. He feels he can take these tyres longer, but is he going to have the pace to maintain with some of these medium runners? Because he is currently sitting P3 now. And he is on the fastest tyre, but the graining around here is absolutely terrible. But here he comes now, Forbes around the final corner, nice and neat. He's using everything at his disposal to try and get pole position. Here he goes. Forbes, he's currently third, and he goes P1 with a 1:27.4. It is on the soft tyres, but that's crucial for Forbes' race. I bet he'll be happy with that. As we see Taz go P2 on the mediums, and as we see Dark Bolt take P1 in the Mercedes on the soft compounds with a 1:27.1. Dark Bolt absolutely destroys the competition, but yet again is on the soft tyres. But Taz out of nowhere pips Spark by 5,000ths of a second, I should say, and is on the medium tyres. So Taz in the Haas pulling out a masterstroke. P3 on the mediums. We do have a race at the front, everybody, with alternate strategies. Wow, I didn't expect that from qualifying. A mixed bag of softs, mediums and hards all the way through that session. We're just going to run through the grid now quickly because people are eager to start. We have Dark Bolt in the Mercedes with a 1:27.1. Fantastic lap from him. We've got Forbes in second place in the McLaren. Third place we have Taz with a fantastic lap on the medium. Same for Sparks, who's starting P4. The Ginger setting a really good lap time, but only P5 for him. Sixth is Ulu, also on the mediums. Jay Fletcher disappointed on the softs in P7. P8 is Praga. Geordie is 9th, and Jay Ghost rounds off the top 10. Whew, 30 seconds to get 10 names in and get a bit of description is very difficult. Bahrain has kicked up a few miracle races in the past, in video game aspects, in my experiences, and obviously in real life. The Duel in the Desert was also one of the greatest races of all time between two very competitive drivers of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. One of the most memorable night Bahrain races, and also we go back to this year's race here at Bahrain, where Sebastian Vettel bottled it into in the first sector, trying to go round. Hamilton went round the outside. Vettel tried to hold it on the inside and ended up spinning the rear. And obviously, poor Charles Leclerc was going to win the race by an absolute mile. But engine struggles for the Ferrari compromised his race, and he had no energy efficient in his power unit. I do believe he wasn't harvesting, and he had no battery. And obviously, Lewis Hamilton took the race win to some people's dismay, but obviously to some people's gain, and you've got to be there to take it, and Hamilton was. But anyway, we're not on about real life, we're on about the virtual life, the video game life. Just looking through the grid now. Obviously a mixed bag of cars. Look at that, like a rainbow, like a Skittles bag, just full of cars as we see Taz just disappear off the map as he hits Forbes. So Taz and Forbes have come together and are sat on the grid So cold tyres for these guys starting P2 and 3. I don't know who's to blame for that, whether it was lag or whatever. I just saw 2 cars vanish from the formation lap, but I bet they're fuming with each other for their reckless driving, as Dartbolt obviously is going to take us around the lap. Dartbolt also starting on the soft compound, was going to be under threat from Forbes, but now with the, with the cold tyres, I don't think Forbes is going to get the exit or off the start that he wanted. So Forbes clearly not impressed with some people's driving, only unless it was a glitch, but he's going to be the one to suffer the most, I do believe, as Ulu currently sitting in P6. A bit of a dark horse, it seems, here in Bahrain. He wasn't too good out at Monaco, probably lagged behind a bit, wasn't too used to the closed in walls. But now we're basically in the desert. Well, we are in the desert, so he's got bags and bags of track to play with, and I think Ulu definitely looking to snap up a few positions off the line. Also Jay Fletcher, nearly running into the back of Sparks on the formation lap, but this man's got a lot of work to do. He's currently sitting P7 on the softs and definitely doesn't look like he's got the pace. We've got Praga in P8, did say he messed up his lap, but still looking pretty quick on the mediums, obviously competing with the likes of Jay Fletcher on the softs. So Geordie's already on the grid, so I don't know how he's ended up there. Maybe he's been disqualified. And then you've got the likes of Terra, who is on the hard compound, starting lower down the grid. As soon as you see what tyres people are running, everybody on the medium and softs, apart from Terra, who is on the hards. But here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here at Bahrain. And Dartbolt's going to take us through, but it's lights out and away we go. And Forbes actually gets a fantastic start off the line. We're just going to have on board with him as you see position changes already. As we're going to look at the camera going down to turn 1. Dartbolt leads away, and I think that's a Ferrari right there as Forbes has been spun round. Forbes from P2 on the grid as Jay Fletcher makes up an absolute heap loads of position as Spark goes off the track and cuts the corner. Jay Ghost is also up positions as well, as we see Dartbolt lead the way from Jay Fletcher. Then the Ginger having an awesome start from P5 on the grid. It has to be said, we've seen people drop left, right and centre, just going back. Obviously Geordie's dropped heaps, loads of positions, as Praga's also, that's not Praga, that's Lewis. Praga's actually gained into P4 as the Ginger's challenging, and as Jay goes, and a bit of contact from the Haas as well. As you see the Ginger and Jay Fletcher going side by side into turn 10 and turn 9. Obviously Jay Fletcher on the better of the tyres at the moment, but Dartbolt's made an absolute, well, bolt. He's bolted. Dartbolt's bolted on them soft tyres, and this is what he wanted. As we see action further down the field with Lewis and Foxy Dude in P8 and P9. The Racing Point not getting the best of the Williams at the moment. I'm just going to change 2 positions just to see how many people have gained and how many people have lost. The Ginger will be attacking Jay Fletcher. I'm just going to scan backwards because Taz has gone horrendously wide. Taz is off. Big issues for the house driver. He's dropped a heaps load of positions. I don't know what's happened there. As you see Ulu, who's had a bit of a torrid time out there. He's not going to get 1 Haas. He's going to get 2, and massive contact into the last sector. Legend picks up a penalty, 5-second penalty. Forbes is down to last. There's a Haas in the pit lane. It's gone horrendously wrong for some of these drivers. We're going to head up the field now because we've got a titanic battle for P2. As Dartbolt has gone, Jay Fletcher's made a mistake, and we're going to go on board with it now. The Ginger's up the inside of Jay Fletcher, obviously on the worst tyres, but Jay Fletcher doesn't seem to be getting the maximum. Neck and neck through this corner. Jay Fletcher's going to try and hang it around the outside as the Ginger makes a tiny bit of an error. He's going to hold it on the inside. We're going to feud back, and the Ginger's off! The Ginger's off! I don't know if he's been tagged or not, or if he's just lost it. Cold tyres, it's only lap 2. Trying to scrap like this just doesn't work. And the Ginger, after making such a fantastic start, is now battling with the likes of Lewis down in P7. And oh my god, it's absolute carnage here at Bahrain. The Ginger's nearly into the back of Jay Ghosts. And just going up further in the field, Jay Fletcher does get away with it. More grip on them soft tyres, definitely paying dividends in that Renault. And LR Praga's looking to pounce on this battle. Currently sitting pretty in P3. Didn't have the best of qualifying sessions as Jay goes horrendously wide into the penultimate corner. Jay goes really struggling. His ERS is not as high as other drivers. He's really struggling for traction and pace round here. The Renault not tuned to these conditions. The Ginger is still in this. He's just lost a few positions down in P6. But here we go now down the straight. We're going to go on board with Sparks because Sparks looks the closest out of these three. DRS enabled this lap, so they won't get it on this straight, but they will get it on the next one. As we see Sparks under attack. Prague is going to go for it down the inside. Is Sparks going to follow? He is. Jay Fletcher does see him coming, but Sparks can't squeeze through. Brilliant driving from these three. Prague makes a mistake on the exit, and Jay Ghost is all over the back. Not Jay Ghost, Jay Fletcher, I should say. Jay Fletcher in the Renault. He's switching one way, he's switching to the outside. Jay Fletcher's going to turn tight on the apex, and Prague is going to squeeze him out. Why did all this contact? Oh, and Prague is off. Prague is going to come back on track and regain the position, but be very, very slow. I do think that's Jay Fletcher's fault as Prague has to concede the positions, but Sparks is up the inside and Sparks is going for a move. Down to turn 5. Not turn 5, that's turn 8. Just getting me corners all mixed up. As we see Prague going through 9 and 10. Prague are all over the shop after a bit of a collision, and everybody's going to have DRS. Ginger, Lewis is going to have DRS. There's also a racing point in this battle as well, so we're just going to have a look further behind as Foxy Dude's trying to go round the outside. That's brave of him. That's very brave from Foxy Dude. And Lewis is going to hang it round the inside, but Foxy Dude with the move of the race. Fantastic from him. Into P7. I don't know if Lewis has picked up damage. He looks very slow through that fast section. As we see the battle for P2 hot up like butter. It is tasty. I don't recommend trying butter on its own. Pretty grim. But on toast, very nice. Anyway, back to the race. Ignoring my toast. We're going to say Prague, I think attempt number 2 is in order. He did get the move done. I do think Jago stuck his nose where he shouldn't have put it, and did put them two, you know, in very hazardous positions. Luckily, nobody's crashed out of the race as Spark breaks 10 metres later than everybody else. Clearly tuned this Mercedes to absolute perfection. We're going to see Prague challenge though. He's definitely up the pace. He definitely didn't show it in quali, didn't optimise, but in the race he's looking at one with that Williams. Jay Fletcher hanging on for dear life in P2 in the Renault. Pardon me. As we're just going to skim a bit further down the grid. Sparks keeping with this train. Also Jay Ghost and Ginger. And also Foxy Dude all over the back. We do see Lewis pit in the Mercedes. Not in the Mercedes, in the Williams I should say. From a solid P8. I think he did have wing damage. But this battle is absolutely crispy. It's like a Michelin star restaurant. People just filing through one after the other. Oh, it's brilliant. It's scrumptious as we see Prague, definitely the customer with the biggest appetite at the moment. He's licking his lips. He's looking at that Renault like it's a hot meal. Ready for the taking. As we see Prague line up and attack. I think Lewis playing it a bit smart at the moment. Not Lewis, sorry. Sparks playing it a bit smart at the moment. Just currently sitting in P4. Definitely the quickest, I think, out of these drivers currently. But just can't get the move done because of the double slipstream from some of these drivers. And obviously people behind will attack. But we're going to go on board with Lewis because he's going to have the best view. They've all got DRS. They've all got slipstream. They've all got pace. And here we go. Is it going to be 3 abreast into turn 1? Let's have a look, shall we? It is. And Lewis is going to go up the inside. Prague and Jay Fletcher's done a switchback. And it's absolutely fantastic. Jay Fletcher, Sparks seems to have lost out the most as Ginger makes up positions as Ghosts comes out of absolutely nowhere. And Jay Ghosts is mugged off everybody. And I don't know where Prague has gone. And Prague is out the race. So Prague has lost it. Sorry, I just completely didn't clock that. And Prague has made a mistake somewhere and completely lost the Williams. And an absolute miserable afternoon for Prague as he looked like he had the race pace. And mistake on exit, I do believe, and it's just cost him, and he's binned it in the wall. But the battle does continue as Jay goes horrendously wide. Jay, you're a nice lad, but you are dirty. Right, words being exchanged in the chat as we watch from Ginger's point of view. Ginger obviously did have a bit of a moment going into the first sector, lost a few positions, but he's definitely got the pace around here. As we see, oh, and Sparks has nearly lost it on the fast right-hander. As we see Ginger going up the inside. Sparks, you've got to give him room. You've got to give him room. You made a mistake and came back off the track, back onto it. We're going to look from Foxy Dude's perspective as the Ginger looks to have the move done going into the final corner. If I was the Ginger, I'd squeeze him. No, very respectful from the Ferrari driver, and Sparks going to maintain that position. We're going to keep on board with the racing point as we watch them two ahead as well, going for the battle, Jay Fletcher and Jay Ghosts. The two J's battling it out. I think Jay Ghost has the move done, but here, from the Racing Point's point of view, Jay Fletcher's gone back down the inside. It's an absolute queue going into turn 1. Jay Ghost has lost heaps of positions. And oh, Foxy Dude's going to... Oh, and Jay Ghost is off. Jay Ghost has lost his wing. Oh, it's horrendous from Jay Ghost. He's retired from the race. Jay Fletcher causing all sorts of carnage as he parks it on the apex going into turn 4. And Jay Ghost's out of the race, unfortunately, but Jay Fletcher lives to fight another day. Dirty driving screams to a few people as we watch the Haas go up the inside of Foxy Dude. Taz out of nowhere on the medium tyres is going to challenge into turn 9 and 10. That's definitely going to be brave of him as they both lock up, but Taz gets the move. Brilliant move from Taz. That's opportunistic and it's paid off. An absolute treat. We're going to go on board with the 2-4 Indias, just checking through the grid as we see them file through. Taz out of nowhere just says, you know what, mate, after all the scrapping, I'm going to gain a few positions. But Spark has done the dirty work and has got past Jay Fletcher on them worn soft tyres and is looking to push now. Push now, Sebastian. That's what they're saying in the Gingers here, as we're going to see him overtake Jay Fletcher into the final turn. Pretty self-explanatory. Ginger does give him room, does squeeze him a bit, but Jay Fletcher's going to come in the pit lane and Taz has been caught up in it. Taz might lose a few position now as Foxy Dude's looking to line him up because Jay Fletcher was about to pit and Taz didn't see it coming. Nothing wrong between any of the drivers as Foxy Dude's going to try around the outside. He's going to have the inside for turn 2. It's a tricky corner to get the traction as he pushes Taz off the track. Taz won't be happy with that, but look, here comes Nexus Legend on the inside of Taz for P number 5. Taz gets fantastic exit going out of turn number 4 and Taz maintains P5. And look at this, Terror on the hards racing his own race, sitting in P7. So Terror having an absolutely fantastic performance as the Honda engine of Ulu has given up on the spectators cam. That is not a pretty sound. But the first 7 laps of this race has been thrilling to say the least. Forbes is lagged out, so shame, went from bad to worse for Forbes. He's had an absolute torrid season, even though he has shown the pace around some of these tracks. But anyway, the show must go on, and as we see the top 3 escaping. Ginger, he's got the gap to Foxy, but it's 1.8 seconds, so out of DRS range, so Foxy will be under attack from these guys, but the Ginger definitely showing he has the credentials to push Sparks to the limit. The gap is coming down lap by lap as we see Dartbolt in the pit lane from P1. And here we go, down into turn 1. They're definitely too far behind. We're going to watch Taz and we're going to watch Legend and Foxy Dude. Taz is going to make a move down the inside. Who's the best on the brakes? Daniel Ricciardo, as Taz pushes the Racing Point to its limits. There's a bit of contact. There's more contact. It's like a cage match as they go 3 wide coming into turn 4. I've heard turn 4 too many times. 3 wide don't fit through there, and very respectable driving from Legend. He does concede 2 positions, but it definitely avoids a collision as we watch Terror in P6 on the hard tyres doing a fantastic job in that Ferrari as we see Taz go right up the inside of the Racing Point, but he's made an absolute mess of it as he's now going to lose a position to the other Racing Point, but he's going to go neck and neck with the other Racing Point. Taz is actually going to make another move going into turn 10. There's no stopping this man. G Fuel in his veins, or Monster Energy. These guys battling hammer and tong for positions. As we watch from the perspective of Legend, who's been the fairest out of these drivers, Taz muscling his way through. Elbows out in that Haas. He's clearly not impressed. As we are just going to cycle through to the top 2. Ginger looking to make a move for P1, or provisional P2 I should say, because Dartbolt has pitted. We will check on him in a moment. But Taz looking to get away from this group as we see Terror looking the most mightiest out of people in terms of positions. He's had a fantastic race so far and he's doing a tremendous job on them hard tyres. He's obviously in the DRS slipstream train as well, which will help his race out immensely. But here we go, we're going to see Foxy Dude and Taz. Foxy Dude peels to the outside, then back to the inside to cover the line. And Taz has no answer for that at the moment, but who's going to get the traction out of these 2 corners? It's crucial for a good entry. And look at that, Legend out of nowhere. Taz has nothing to answer with. And Legend's going to make a fantastic move, is he? Is Taz going to ram it down the inside? He's got his elbows out. It's actually very fair racing from the two of them. Taz running wide again on the exit of turn 4. Clearly struggling in that Haas as Legend picks up the pieces currently in P5 as we see Terra just hanging back with Ulu in P6 and P7 as we watch Spark and Ginger having a fantastic battle just for P1 as well. Ginger definitely the faster of the two drivers at this stage, I must say, as we get the worst camera angle possible to showcase this battle. But we're not going to stay on board with these two as we see Jay Fletcher out of the race. He's clearly binned it somewhere as we see the titanic battle for P3 as Foxy Dude makes a mistake and gives Taz the position. We're going to go on board with Terra. I think Terra's got the best seat in the house, to be honest. Maybe Legend again. Still can't get past these guys. No, we're going to stay on board with Terra because I think Terra's hungry for a bit of this battle as well. He's going to go down the inside into the last corner. That's definitely brave of him. Terra. Oh, Legend saw him coming in his mirrors and avoided a horrendous incident. His Ulu's also going to make him move down the straight. But he's definitely not got the straight line speed. We're going to go on board with this battle. As Legend definitely going to make the move, and Foxy Dude going to make the move on Taz. Taz is going to tighten up the corner for Legend, and he's going to get the inside line into turn 2. Legend's going to try and hold it around the outside. Taz not leaving any room for anybody, not even himself. As we go down into turn 4, quite a heavy braking zone, a very tricky corner. It's elongated more than people expect, and Ulu did get the position on Terra. Unsure if there's damage, but I think Terra's just biding his time. He is having a great race so far. But Darkbolt currently in P8 and he has made his pit stop. Only 5 seconds off this cluster of cars. Obviously words being exchanged in the chat. Taz looking to make a move and actually messes up his braking zone. Again, Taz runs wide and again, Nexus Legend all over the back of this man. It's non-stop action here at Bahrain as we see Ginger pull away from Sparks, I do believe, but this has been thrilling so far. The 2 racing points glistening, the Pink Panthers of the league glistening under the moonlight and under the spotlight of Bahrain. Jay Fletcher says watch the stream. I do agree with you, mate. I would tune into this stream because it's been a fantastic experience so far. We won't go on board with Ulu because his engine is fooked, as they say. And is everybody going to come into the pit lane? I was going to say you can't come into the pits Nexus because your teammates just come in, but Foxy and Taz are both into the pit lane. It's going to be, oh, he's been held up. Sparks though, Sparks is coming to the pit lane and he's been held trying to get the undercut on Ginger, and he's actually been held. The hard tyres for everybody in the pit lane, and it's a new front wing for Foxy Dude. So compromising his race horrendously as we watch Lewis go past is on the soft tyres, so we will definitely have to stop again. So not net P6 for him. Darkbolt in clean air. This is Terra's territory now. Terra's got to push as hard as he can. So Terra needs to keep the car on the track, and if he can pump in the lap times now, he's going to be fantastic at the end because he's either going to stick on a set of mediums or a set of softs, and he's going to be tenths quicker than these guys when it comes to the end of the race. So Terra, if he just keeps in the DRS train and keeps everything at bay, then that man is definitely looking for a good points haul today. I just want to keep on board with Ginger, just to see how his tyres are holding up. Obviously lap times, pardon me, obviously lap times definitely dwindling compared to when they started the race. But here he comes now, the number 22. He knows his rival Sparks this race has pitted. He knows that's who he's battling for a second position potentially this race. And will he pit to counter the undercut? Yes, he will. Obviously, he doesn't know Sparks has been held in the pit lane, and he doesn't know things have been happening on behind him. You know, people obviously disconnecting and losing places as we see Nexus and Ulu in the pit lanes from P2 and 3. Where's Lewis? Going through the final corner now. He looks to be miles off, I think. Poor old Lewis. Ginger nearly out the pit lane. Lewis just coming down the start finish straight. Ginger not been held up, but Lewis is in the way. So Lewis is in the way of Ginger as we see Sparks. Yep, look at the gap just from being held in the pit lane as we see Taz come out the pit lane, and Nexus, I don't know if he's in a new front wing change, but he's going to come out ahead of his teammate Foxy, I think. Foxy on the mediums. Foxy is on the mediums. No, he's going to concede the position to his teammate. But Foxy is on the mediums. I think a double wing change for the Racing Points. And Ulu, the man, the myth, the legend Ulu, in the Red Bull Racing, doing a tremendous job in P7. He's come out the pit lane, not in front of Taz, but he has pitted a lap later than him. So Taz has got some clean air to stretch his muscles now. So let's see how it goes. Just checking further up the field. Because obviously Terra is on these hard tyres. Needs to pick up the pace, I do believe, on these hards. I don't know what he's been doing to him, but he definitely needs to pick up the pace. Because Dark Bolt's looming large. We're going to go on board with Ginger. Because he is going to challenge Lewis. As Lewis just drifts around the penultimate corner. But he is going to challenge Lewis here into the last corner. Here he goes. No, Lewis defends the racing line. So, Lewis clearly not being at one with the car. Is he going to pit? No, he doesn't. Ginger should get the move done pretty comfortably. As we see yellow flags in sector 3. Not too sure what's happened there. Maybe someone spun. As we see Lewis, he's actually going to fight. He's going to fight Ginger. And Ginger's got... Oh, he's got the inside line for turn 3. But no, Lewis has got the DRS and he's on the soft compound. We're going to go on board with Ginger. He's still neck and neck, these two. Ginger's going to force him out wide. And Lewis doing Sparks a favour, it has to be said. But Sparks not close enough at the moment to challenge these two. I'm just going to check the tyre data. Just to see how long... see how long these guys have been on. Yeah, Lewis has been on them softs for 9 laps, so he did have an early pit stop and them softs are finished. Terra's been on for 12 laps. Yep, 12 laps of the race. Fantastic. Yep, position changes, it's all good in the hood. Just looking through, Nexus has actually got past his teammate, I do believe, on the straight. There's Geordie and Forbes are nowhere near. Nexus looking at the quicker of the drivers at the moment, and he's on the worst compound, so Foxy Dude was in a heated battle, but at the moment lingering behind his teammate. Is Ulu quick enough to catch Taz? I don't think he is. I think he's actually losing time to Taz currently at the moment as Lewis pits from P4 in this race. I think the Racing Point boys are definitely the ones to watch as Foxy Dude's running out of fuel. He's put it in no ERS and he's put it in, I presume, lean. As he tries to switch to the inside, a bit of lag. A bit of lag going into turn 1, but Nexus Legend also running low on ERS and fuel. So the Racing Point boys clearly not having the best of outings at the moment. I think they did try and switch the drivers around because Nexus was on the more aggressive. Foxy Dude was on the more aggressive of the two strategies, but Foxy Dude just doesn't have the pace. It seems that he just doesn't have the credentials. Just going to go further at the field just to see where people are positioning themselves. You see Sparks needs to get a hurry on. Obviously Terra doing the long stint in this race right on the back of Dark Bolt. Dark Bolt does obviously get the move done, but he's just kept in the DRS. So Terra, he may be a pit stop behind the leader, but he's looking for a big points haul if he's got the pace on the softer of the compounds. Yep, just keeping in the DRS train. Ginger trying to escape the clutches of LR Sparks. Oh, sorry, Sparks ZX in this race. As Taz, he's so aggressive on the gear shifts. I don't know if that's just commentary, but you know, the gear shifts are very, very late on this game. You normally want to be gear shifting in the 11,000 revs mark, you know, before it hits 12,000 revs, because you get the optimum, you know, performance out of the engine. But Taz just rings the engine to pieces, you know, very aggressive, very 2018 style there for Taz. Yeah, you should just see the likes of Foxy Dude. Just watch his rev counter on the right hand side. He's currently in second gear, 12,000 revs through there, but normally 11,000 revs he's hitting the shift, the change gear button on his wheel. I presume, you know, through the traction zones I can understand a bit more excessive revs, but you don't really want it to be hitting the 12,000 revs as we watch the teammates change places. So Nexus doing Foxy Dude a solid, or are these two just planning to save ERS? Because these guys have been farming off each other for the last couple of races now. Foxy Dude definitely turning the wick up, so I think he actually wants to pull away from his teammate. I don't think there's any help going on whatsoever, as we see Foxy Dude nearly lose it out the final corner. But we're just going to stay on board with these two for the moment as we watch Terra. He's still on the back of Dartbolt. Dartbolt, I think, has run away with this race. 14 seconds back to the Ginger. Oh, as I quickly take a gulp of my beverage as we nearly enter lap 17 of this 29 lap race. It's gone very quickly from the commentary perspective. I hope everybody has enjoyed who is watching so far. Obviously getting as many people to watch this league is the best case scenario for everybody. Hope everybody is enjoying. Obviously the battles have just petered out at the moment. You know, front wing changes, the pit stops, you know, people getting held up. It has ruined some of the neutrals' perspective of things as we watch these two. Oh God, and these two, Nexus Legend and Foxy Dude, whatever they're trying to do, it's just doesn't seem to be working. Racing Point had a good chance for third earlier on in this race. Obviously Jay Ghost Praga and Jay Fletcher all becoming victims to their own downfall, really battling too hard, too aggressive, people thinking others are too dirty, people thinking, oh, as we watch Foxy Dude lose it into turn 2, and now Nexus is all over the back of his teammates. So are they going to change positions? They are. So these two, I don't even know what the strategy is with these two, to be honest. Foxy Dude's clearly on the more aggressive strategy, but he doesn't seem to have the pace. But the fact that these two just keep braking for each other and letting each other pass because they think they're holding each other up is just compromising their race. They're not getting any closer to Ulu in P6, sorry. So what is the point? Like, I don't see what they're trying to gain out of this. They've got the laps to do it if they just get the head down and push. They need to get the head down and push and catch the Red Bull. They've both got no fuel. They're both really low on ERS, and Ulu's sitting pretty in P6. Unfortunately, Ulu can't catch Taz, who is in P5, so he's having a bit of a lonely race. But Taz is catching Sparks, I believe. Yeah, so Sparks clearly made a mistake somewhere down the line, or he might have not have the pace on these tyres. But you know, Ginger is just miles ahead. And Terra finally makes his pit stop, and where's he going to come out? Terra, look at that. Terra, what a fantastic race Terra has had. He's come out in P6. So while these two Racing Point boys are faffing about, you know, Terra's just come out the pit lane. He's already done his hard stint and he's onto the faster of the mediums. So Terra's going to be looking mighty. He may even get P4 by the end of this race, good old Terra. He's got Ulu to catch first and he's only in his sights. Can we just stay on board Terra for a second? Ulu clearly struggling on them hards and through some of the corners. We're going to go in the broadcast cam just to make it look a bit more flashy. I'm not going to go on board with the Racing Point boys. I think they've had enough coverage. They're like the Chuckle Brothers they are. RIP to Paul and Barry. They both passed away now, which is part of my childhood. Very disheartening, has to be said. But here we are, and this man, the alternate strategy never normally works around tracks like Bahrain, because obviously the traction zones play a major part in obviously keeping the tyres fresh and cool and not wringing the rear tyres to pieces like some of these drivers. But Terra's kept it cool, played the strategy by ear perfectly. The strategy he's pulled off today has been perfect, and he's looking pretty quick. Obviously his teammate Ginger doing a fantastic job currently in P2. Dart Bolts ran away with it thanks to Jay Fletcher being very, very aggressive on the defence. I'll let the stewards decide whether it was race worthy or penalty worthy. But Terra's dispatched Ulu. There you go. I don't think Ulu will have DRS, but I don't think he's got the traction or the pace to fight back. No, he doesn't. I think Ulu's best bet now, try and stick with Terra, keeping his DRS and slipstream, and just try and catch Taz. So obviously he's been struggling to catch Taz this entire race, probably had been a few tenths shy of Taz, and he doesn't want to get sucked into the racing points. Interesting battle, they've swapped again. So the racing point duo chopping and changing, whether it's to make the stream or just to for strategic purposes, it's definitely not helped any of them. Foxy Dude does look like he's pulling away now, but it's taken him about 10 laps on a set of mediums and he's still not making inroads. So anyway, let's move on. I want to see if Ulu will keep in the DRS. He does look like he's got the grip. He's definitely got the ERS to push. Yeah, he's going to put it in overtake. He definitely is heeding my words. Wants to get into the DRS as he locks the front right. A lot of loading going into that corner, mainly on the front left, as we see Lewis crash out of P9. We're just going to go on board with Forbes. Want to see where he's crashed, if possible. Safety car. Safety car has been deployed. So Lewis has crashed out, and a safety car has been deployed. Wow. Okay. So on lap 20, Lewis's crash, which I want to stay on board with Geordie just to see if I can pick it up. Okay, so I don't know whether he's binned it on his own or whether he's purposely rammed it in the wall. Forbes is obviously going to come in the pit lane for a fresh set of tyres. Understandable. Anybody else? Yeah, a lot of people pitting. A lot of people in the pit lane. Hold on. Just going to check my phone. Just see what the comment section's saying. Obviously, the two Force India boys having to stack, but I don't think it matters because they haven't lost any positions. Because Forbes is miles behind. But the Racing Point boys actually might jump a few guys. Ulu, poor old racer, has done the alternate strategy on for a good heap of points, but I don't know if it's a godsend or what. Dartbolt's obviously in a pit. Who else is going to pit? Lewis says, I lost it on the right hander in sector 3, far left barrier. Unfortunate from Lewis, he was running in P9, so he was going to get a handful of points. Jay Fletcher has 0 racecraft, says Lewis Marshall. Racer, afternoon. Brandon Glover, hello. A lot of people just popping and saying hi. That's all I want really. People just to pop in, say hi, and then do what it will, you know, when you please. Terra is actually going to stay out on a fresh set of mediums. So that actually, I don't know if that's the right call from Terra. It might be, you know, there's 8 laps left of this race. These soft tyres don't go that far. You know, people are going to be fighting, people are going to be burning them, and Dartbolt obviously coming out in the lead of the race still, but all of his hard work from start to finish, well, from start to lap 21 has gone down the shitter, because, you know, the safety cars come out after Lewis has binned it in sector 3, nowhere near the track, so I don't know how the safety cars come out, but I'm glad to see it. You know, bunching up a few of this pack. And Taz, anybody making inroads or positions? I know Forbes, Geordie's just about to pit now. These guys are miles off. I don't know if they're AI or what's happened, but these guys are very, very slow. You know, I don't think they'll even catch the safety car at this rate. I do think it was the right call to pit. Obviously, Terra was very close to his teammate, so maybe double stacking would have hindered his race, and he wanted track position, which is fair enough. A lot of words being said in the chat that I'm in, you know, people couldn't stop the car and stuff like that. Crazy end to the race. Two people currently spectating at the moment. Nothing more to say, as the safety car is going to go around for one more lap. So it gives me a chance to have a breather, which is good for me. Is Forbes going to catch? Yeah, Forbes is here, I think. So Forbes, obviously, having an absolute horrendous afternoon, but he's definitely going to claw his way back. Geordie's miles off. They are going very slow. Is it an AI car? No, he is here. He is here. So Geordie just having a miserable afternoon. Whether he'll catch the back of them or not, I don't know. Why is Foxy Dude in the pit lane? Has Foxy Dude got wing damage off the safety car? Forbes has been promoted to P8, and Forbes is now in the back of the train. The safety car still out. Obviously, Geordie's not going to make up a position, which is unfortunate because he's so far off. But Foxy Dude, has he pitted so he has fresher tyres? Or has he pit because he's got damage? Very, very confusing from my perspective. Just cycling through everybody. We will go on board with Ginger for the moment. As we see Lewis leaving the session, unfortunately, because of the mishap he had. Right. Don't know if the safety car is going to come in this lap, but I'm going to quickly have a drink because I've got a lot of vocals and voice left and I want to be able to utilise it when the lights go green. Obviously I've never been in this position before as a commentator. Unsure of if the safety car is going to come in this lap or not. I think it's going to go for another lap. So the safety car clearly, yeah, I think it's going around for another lap. So it's going to give Geordie the chance to catch up, which I'm not complaining about. It's the top 10 fight for the rest of the race, and the more the merrier really. But you know, Foxy Dude, I know we've been under the safety car, but these tyres do get warm very quickly. Terra obviously on lap, 5 lap old mediums, and these people, 2 laps old, 3 laps old for Forbes 3 laps old softs. So yeah, maybe Foxy Dude didn't think he was going to lose a position anyway and thought, I may as well stick on another fresh set because I've got another fresh set and I want to go to the end of the race on a fresh set, or a fresher set I should say, than everybody else. Whether it will pay off I don't know. It's only a couple of laps and they're under the safety car, but that man, let's see what he can do. Just going to have a look how many stops we've got. Geordie still in the race with 4 stops. 3 stops obviously for Foxy Dude. Darkbolt and everybody else making 2, apart from Terra, who's only made the 1 onto them set of mediums. Trying to keep the tyres cool, nearly running into the back of Darkbolt. Jesus, I clenched then. But just running through the grid and position changes. Obviously Darkbolt started on pole on the soft tyres, and he's maintained that throughout the entire race, even under the safety car, and even no, when he pitted he did go down to P9, so that is a lie, but he has maintained the majority of the lead for the entire race. We've got Terra making up 9 positions, starting in P11 on the hard tyres and making it work fantastically well. We've got Ginger making up 2 positions from P5, currently in P3, getting the best of Sparks, who did start 4th, so nothing to gain, nothing to lose at the moment, but did start 4th. Safety car is in this lap, event finally, as Dartbolt's going to hold the field as I just carry on. Taz is currently in P5, actually lost positions from his starting grid. And obviously other guys, you know, Nexus making up a lot of positions, Forbes losing a heaps of time and everything, but here we go anyway. Ignore all that, because it's time. It is time for race day. It is time for the race to continue. It is time for the safety cars. It's time for me to unplug my mic and plug it back in as Dartbolt gets us underway for the restart of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Terra starting in P2 on the medium tyres. Doesn't look like he's got the best of exit, but is going to challenge, I think, Dartbolt going into turn 1. Terra wants to take the lead of this race from P11 he started. Just going to have a look back for you. Oh, cars filing through left, right and centre. Ulu's still got an engine problem, so we're not going to go on board with him, but the teammates now. Terra, if he's going to be polite, he's going to let his teammate go, and I think he will. Yep, Terra's going to let Ginger go to try and challenge Dartbolt. And is this strategic from the Ferrari drivers to try and keep the rest of the field behind? Just looking back now, we're going to see the McLaren and the Force India. I say the Force India, the Racing Point go neck and neck as Forbes is holding up. Legend it looks like, but he actually has got past him. As Legend's going to go up the inside, but Forbes turns in. It compromises both of their braking zone and traction zones. As we see Foxy Dude bringing up the rear with Geordie. Oh my God, Geordie nearly collects the back of the Racing Point in that Haas. Just going to scroll further up the field because obviously we want to see these top tip battles. And look at the gap that's been pulled already. Dirty air costs you heaps of time around Bahrain, and Terra's doing a fantastic job of hindering everybody's progress. As we're not going to stay on board with these two because I want to see what happens when they get DRS, because DRS is disabled under the safety car and disabled until another 2 laps after the safety car has been deployed. Back in the pit lane, I should say. Sparks definitely looks like he wants to challenge Terra going into turn 1 as Terra makes a mistake on the traction zone going into the last corner. Fastest laps coming through left, right and centre, and Sparks needs to get this done if he wants any hope of catching the top 2 guys. But Terra's got such good straight line speed. Is Spark going to go around the outside? Yeah, he is, but Terra's going to brake late. Spark does the up and under, but he's going to have the outside for the next turn. We're going to go on board with Terra, but Spark out-thought and out-manoeuvred Terra going through them first couple of corners, and Taz also looking to have a go. Taz from no man's land comes back, nearly collects the Ferrari. Don't know how the hell he got that car stopped, but Taz really eager. He knows there's a podium on the line, but he's lost the rear on the... Oh, and Ulu's going to come up the inside now. Ulu in the Red Bull. He's had a bit of a lonely race and nearly collects Taz. And as Forbes goes around the outside of Ulu, pushes him wide. Forbes having none of it. As Forbes moves up into P6 as Taz runs wide again, but so does Forbes. Here we go. Titanic battle for P5. Ulu, very, very unfortunate from him. Turned an attack into defence as he tries to go around the outside of Forbes, but Forbes positions his car perfectly. As we're just going to keep on board with this battle for the moment until the straight. Forbes trying to challenge... Ulu trying to challenge Forbes because Forbes doesn't look like he can keep tabs with Taz. But here's the battle that we've all been waiting for. Ginger has had a second wind due to the safety car and has been put in a position that he definitely relishes. DRS has been enabled. It won't be used down this straight, but Ginger's definitely going to keep it in mind for the next straight. Ginger getting as close as he possibly can. He needs to get a beautiful exit through this corner. It's very neat and tidy, but Dartbolt definitely gets the superior exit. Don't think he'll challenge through here as Terra actually picks up a penalty in P4. Just going to have a look through now as Ginger stays in the back and just to cycle through these guys. Yeah, Nexus actually gives a position up to Foxy, whether that's planned or not I'm not too sure. It was just done down the straight. We're going to keep on board with Foxy Dude, probably the most uneven driver as he's going to try and lunge up the inside of Ulu. Ulu has to just avert out the way because nobody wants to be there at this current moment, and it's an absolute fantastic performance from the likes of Terror to actually, I don't think Taz is definitely catching, but I don't think he'll catch him by the end of the race. LR Spark looks like he's going to be settling for third, as Ginger's actually lost time to Dartbolt. So whether Dartbolt's turned the wick up or if Ginger's messed it up, but Dartbolt has got no ERS whatsoever. So no ERS for Dartbolt. And whether Ginger's just biding his ERS, he's not going to have DRS down the straight. He needs to get this within 1 second again. He may have a tiny bit of slipstream. That gap is definitely coming down. As we see yellow flags in sector 3, I don't know what that's for. Oh, it's for Geordie. Geordie's off, but it doesn't matter because it's a three-way battle. Both the racing points are going to slam it down the inside. Oh my god, it's 2 wide, it's 3 wide. Ulu trying to defend for his absolute life. He's going to try and squeeze the racing point going in, but Nexus is going to get the best exit out of everybody, and he's going to go up the inside of not just his teammate, but his teammate's going to go up the inside. His teammate wants to bite at the cherry. His teammate's going to force Ulu off, and no, you can't do that yet. Ulu has a right to stick it back there. And obviously Foxy Dude does get the move done now, and oh, Nexus is going to do the up and under on Ulu. And Ulu's been utterly mugged. He's going to try and keep it on the inside. This ugly camera angle, what the hell is that? Rubbish camera angles from F1 in the broadcast cam, but the 2 racing points getting the job done. Ulu, not sure if he can fight back as we just scroll up the grid. This is the battle I want to focus on, because Ginger has clawed back the time and he has got the DRS. Dartbolt has no ERS whatsoever. This man is under threat from Ginger. Ginger's looks one of the quicker guys out here tonight. He's fended off the likes of Sparks, Jay Fletcher and Jay Ghost earlier on in the race. He did make a few mistakes on the way here, but he's been utterly flawless, this man. He got a second wind with the safety car. Poor old Dartbolt's hard work gone to waste. But here it is now. It will be a P1 and 2 if there's no collisions between these two. But Ginger's definitely going to make a move. He's sniffing it. He can smell it. Dartbolt covers the inside. Ginger's braked so late and didn't want to do the up and under because he doesn't want to get squeezed. Just wants to follow Dartbolt, which is very, very sensible of Ginger. Driving the absolute wheels off this Scuderia Ferrari as he goes through turn 4, just clinging to the back of the Mercedes. Sparks, there's only 2 laps left. I don't think he'll get involved. He needs to push as hard as he can. Terror is actually catching back up to Sparks. So it's a Ferrari Mercedes showdown between these guys as Ginger gets parked on the exit, just checking through the field. Obviously these guys definitely spread out, so we definitely will go back to the battle for P1 as Ginger gets his braking all wrong going through turn 9 and 10. Just gonna check my stream. Yeah, I will show you the penalties at the end of the race, so just stay tuned for that. But at the moment, Dartbolt, he's defending brilliantly, but is Ginger going to make it a last lap wonder? Dartbolt doesn't have the ERS compared to Ginger, but Ginger needs a good exit, especially out of here. He's turning it up into overtake. High for Dartbolt. He shouldn't be using his ERS down this straight. But here we go. This is the main overtaking point. A very fast entry, but not the best exit from Ginger. Dartbolt is pulling away as Sticky Bomb 04 joined. Don't know why he's there. But anyway, Ginger, will he challenge into this braking zone into turn 1? He's getting closer. He's getting closer. He's braking later, but he needs a good exit out of this corner. He's messed up the turn 1 opportunity, but he has got others during this race. Dartbolt driving the wheels off his Mercedes to conserve the place. He's up into overtake. And ERS very limited for both drivers, but Dartbolt defends for his absolute life as Terrors is also on the back of Sparks. Don't know if he'll make a move or not. We're going to keep on board with these 2 guys as Ginger is all over the back of the Mercedes. He's not going to go for a move there. He is. He's tried to poke his nose through there, and he might have compromised his only chance to overtake the Mercedes. He's still in touching distance, but it's a DRS straight coming up, my dude. There was no need to do that. Is he going to get the exit warranted through here? He is very close to the back of Dartbolt. And look at Sparks as well, under pressure from Terror and Taz. A few more laps in this race and it would have heated up even more. Has Ginger wasted his opportunity? Has Ginger wasted his only opportunity to take the race win away from this man? Ginger, there's 2 corners remaining. Has he got the ERS? Dartbolt's conserved the ERS. I don't think he's going to do it going down to the line. He's giving it everything, Ginger. He's got no fuel left or nothing. But Dartbolt's got the lead so far. Dartbolt's going to hold on. There's no chance for Ginger. And Dartbolt weaves across the line to take victory here in Bahrain with Ginger a fantastic P2. Sparks will come across the line. Currently P3. No penalties in order. Terra gets a fantastic P4 holding off the likes of Taz, Forbes, Foxy Dude and Nexus, and brilliant racing from these guys. It was miles better than Monaco. That's what I want to see every week. Congratulations to Dartbolt on a fantastic victory. He was led from start to finish, even under the safety car. It did not faze him. This man is on prime form for the rest of the season. He's going to take the Bahrain International Circuit, Gulf Air Bahrain, and he's going to take the winner's trophy with a fantastic drive from Ginger in P2. Sparks will be disappointed in himself. Did have the opportunities, did have the pace, but just not quick enough to challenge these two. These two were the men to beat. Sparks says he couldn't challenge because he had wing damage the entire race. Obviously Sparks, don't know how he's picked up wing damage, but he hasn't pitted to change it. Obviously, maybe, I know he got held in the pit lane, which he probably could have changed his wing and got out at the same time. Here are the penalties. The top two, perfection from them two. You know, Dartbolt led every lap, bar couple, when people pitted, but he's always been P1, did a two-stop strategy and blitzed the competition. The Ginger from P5 takes a fantastic P2. And Sparks did gain a position in the end to take a podium finish, but will be disappointed. But this man, Terra, made one of the most inappropriate decisions. Nobody stayed on the tyres to pit, but he stayed out on them mediums and he made it work. He was currently P2. He was bound to lose a few positions because of the traction zones and how many laps were left, but fantastic job from Terra in the Ferrari garage. Obviously the penalties were shown on screen. We don't need to see any more than that. I think one penalty was the max anybody got. There'll be a few talking points. Obviously Jay Fletcher's driving I think will be a talking point for the rest of these drivers. You know, taking out, I don't think he took anybody out intentionally, but maybe a bit dirty from him. Jay Ghost obviously suffering. Praga looking like he looked very quick on the mediums, suffering as well. And obviously the likes of Forbes lagging out, unfortunately. Sparks getting held in the pit lane, completely destroyed his race winning chances. And the two racing points, the two drivers, I think Legend actually ended up finishing P6 because of penalties. But those two need to sort their act out. I don't know what the strategy was during that race. All I kept seeing was those two chopping and changing positions. But anyway, Ulu's just reported as well from the Red Bull garage that he had wing damage during the race, so it compromised his race. Unfortunately for him, he'll only pick up P9, I think it was. So that's been it from me, Lordy Boy, or Formula Lord, or LORDY-MK, or however you know me by. Obviously, this has been Hit the Apex Racing League Round 3 Bahrain. It's been a fantastic race from start to finish. Obviously, I hope for more next weekend. But I think Monaco is just a blip in the system for some of these drivers. Probably not the best from some of these drivers. But join me next week when it'll be round 4 and it'll be Canada next week. So yeah, I've been Lordy, and take care everyone, and great racing.